Hey guys, it's Julie from Plan to Create, and I know, like, what in the world? I am not sharing a ringed planner right now. This is a totally new wrinkle for me. This is a Hobonichi Techo Cousin in the A5 size, and I never expected to like this, and I absolutely love it. I want to take a second to explain, like, I'm still in rings, I still love rings, I still use those on a day-to-day basis, but this has been a really fun way for me to take the information, to place it in here as more of like a memory keeper. And then you guys, I have this beautifully all bound memory keeping book at the end of the year. And that has been the one drawback for rings for me for a long time, is the storage. Like, what do you do with the pages once you're done? And so to me, this is the answer to that. I have all the information in my rings. I transfer important things. I transfer any information I want. I add little details that I don't even bother to add into my rings, and voila, I have a little memory keeper for the end of the year, something I can reference off my shelf in the future, and I love it. My history in paper crafting is definitely scrapbooking, so this is kind of bringing both of my little loves together. Some memory keeping, some planning, really fun activity. I did buy a plastic cover, that's why it's so glary. And then I just cut a piece of scrapbook paper down and slid it inside the cover. This is from the Stamp Market, and I chose this because I feel like it definitely signals, like, here's the colors that you're gonna be able to expect that will pop up inside my planner. You can see that it doesn't exactly stretch all the way to the end, so I might get kind of creative, cut this in half and extend it with washi, thus creating a binding. But for right now, guess what? I don't really see that very often. It's usually laying on my table. So I'm totally fine with this right here. I purchased this guy through JetPens. I will provide a link below. I know that they were on back order when I first looked. I asked to be notified with a restock, and I was quickly notified that they were back in stock. So don't be intimidated if you look and they're not immediately in stock. I think that they are replenishing that frequently. In order to find my way around easily in this planner, I'm definitely utilizing some tabs. These are Avery Ultra tabs, and they're just cute colors, and I put stickers on there from the planner spot that say this month, this week, and then I have this one to kind of signal the current month, which I'll show you as I flip through. And then normally I have this writing board that I purchased, and it can be back here in the current today. So I have all these different ways to find my way around, and that's really important to me, to have some functional ways to get to where I need to go in my planner. I was really worried that I would not like the TOMBOW River paper. I don't mind it at all. I can't say I love it, but I really was happily surprised with how well, like, mild liners and even some of my inks do. So I can definitely say without hesitation that this has been a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy chunk up throughout the year. As we open it up, you're gonna see first things first, I had to stamp 2021 in here. I feel like I just love these big, bold number stamps. They create such a statement, and this also, again, just signals like, okay, this is gonna be a colorful planner. So you're gonna see these colors throughout my planner all the way through. I know I mentioned it earlier, but this is a brand new planner to me, so please give me some grace. I'm still figuring out how I want to use it. I have been heavily inspired by both Lindsay Scribbles and Helen from the Coffee Monsters Co. I'll link them below because you should definitely check out their videos and their Instagrams because they share a lot of really fun ideas, and I feel like that's part of why I was even interested in trying this. So I don't have a major game plan for this yet. I am kind of trying to think through if I would go back and track something here from last year. Not entirely sure. Check back in a few months and we'll see where I'm at. But this planner jumps straight into this breakdown where it's just a perfect place to do some tracking. And so I have decided to track my exercise here. I love the idea of seeing, you know, a whole year's worth on a couple of pages. I think that there are like tons of things. There's like a lot more room than what I'm utilizing this month. But I thought to myself, instead of like trying to track 10 things, which I've never tracked before, I'm gonna start with things that I've normally tracked, and then I can always add from month to month. So like this month, I'm just tracking my workout, if I've taken an afternoon walk, and then if I've closed all of my rings on my Apple Watch. And so to me, that's doable. I think I could potentially add like drinking water in the morning because that's something I'm working on this month as a routine. And then from that point, once I feel like those things are established, then I'm going to add more. That's kind of a theme for me this year. I recently heard a podcast about Atomic Habits, a book. I'd like to read that. They basically just talked about starting small instead of like saying like, I'm going to accomplish all 10 of these brand new things. Like figure out like one at a time and then build from there. So there's 2 pages of that to go all the way through December. And then you move right into your months pages. And this one was just kind of a fun you know, looking back, more so I wasn't planning ahead by the time I got my Hobonichi. I just came back through and added what had already transpired basically. And I know that like Lindsay Scribbles in the past has used it as a way to like throw in one memory from each day, and I think that that's super tempting. I really thought about doing that, but I really decided I would just primarily add stickers or decoration on the days that we actually had an event. And so some of the other days were just pretty quiet or slim, and that's okay because I feel like that gives me a glimpse at what my month was like, if it was a busy month, if it was light. So that's kind of the thought process I have for that. So I will just be including just like the larger like specific timed events or things that were special. I am including a little video on the days that I've put up a video on YouTube just for my own kind of curiosity looking back at a month. And then of course like birthdays are tracked. I love using like a dewdrop sticker underneath an icon sticker to kind of help those little events pop. And then Coffee Monster Co. stickers are like my favorite thing. I think that they just look so cute in these Hobonichi planners. So I like to space those out periodically. I'm using a lot of these label stickers. There's something that I recently grabbed from Studio Calico. You'll see some more in my weeks ahead, but I think it's fun to include a different shape. So not everything is square. You know, it can get a little bit linear after a while, especially when you're dealing with graphs on squares on graphs. So I think that adding in some circles is fun. This is a sticker from the planner spot. It actually has the month, you know, here in English. I'm hoping that she'll do some more of these for 2021. You will see that I do incorporate some stamping on my pages. Like this is a stamp, the little snowflake, and I'm just careful. I actually ripped out a graph sheet from the back, and I've been doing some testing on that in inks before I bring them to the paper, so I'm not super shocked. And you can see like this is a little bit of a darker ink on that snowflake, and really, I mean, obviously there's a tiny bit of shadowing that comes through, but really no bleed through. So very, very pleased with that. Over here, I'm just doing some like sales tracking and some numbers, so I did go ahead and cover that. But then here I'm just using this area month after month to track like my social media numbers, just to kind of see where I've been throughout the year. Threw in this washi tape over here on this side. These are kind of the colors that I chose to use in my rings planner for the month of December. So I thought about that, like somehow kind of marrying that over into this, so I have that as part of my, like I guess as part of my record. So if I choose a few colors or a few washi tapes that I tend to use throughout the whole month, I will probably indicate that here in my Hobonichi as well. So there's that, and then you can kind of see the setup here without the numbers. So I kind of, everything in my life has like a color assigned to it. So I'd love to do that, and then I don't even have to like write it out. I know exactly what it means when I look at it, and different colors mean different things in different areas. So one color can represent many things. I'm complex like that. So one thing I will quickly say is that when I first ordered my Hobonichi from JetPens, I'm not sure if it just got a little bit dinged up in shipping, but there was a slight ding, like a little bit of smushing here in the corner, and then it kind of came through these pages as well. And so I contacted them, and they were super awesome. They sent me a new one, and I even asked them, can I please like transfer the information into this one before I send you back the other one? And they were really accommodating. I have nothing but good things to say for their customer service, but I would say that I'm still in the process of like kind of catching up. So I basically did this spread twice, in the previous book and then in this one. And so you can see like January, I haven't even come through really and like thought through this. I'm still kind of playing catch up right now, but I'm really getting close to getting everything transferred from the other book. And so it won't be too long. But I wanted to show you too, these ultra tabs, like I'm very careful as I peel that away because the paper is thin, but they peel very easily, very nicely, and they just can move from month to month. I have zero forward planning in this, partially like I said, because I'm still kind of backtracking as I'm transferring the information from the other planner, but also because I have a fear of writing things down ahead because things always switch in our schedule. And so I would rather know that it's like solid before I write something down. I'm really likely to use like an Avery removable sticker. I feel like those are a really great way that make me feel safe writing down forward plans, because I can peel them off if the plan doesn't work out, or if I decide that I want to like address it differently in my planner, I can peel it off and still have a chance to make it look good. So I'm definitely weird like that, but in something like this where, you know, this is going to be my reference, I'm going to be looking back at it, I want to like what I see, so I am very careful about how I pre-plan. Hopefully this isn't your first look at a Hobonichi, because you're going to be like, hold on lady, what is all in here? But months, so it starts off with the months of the year, it goes all the way through 2021, and then it goes up into like March of 2022. I'm not sure where they decide how to cut that off, but that's what they do. And then it starts with weeks. And so it does give you that last week of December in this year's planner. that rolls into the first week of January. I do love it because the planners actually say like it's the 53rd week, so the information is up here. I chose to make it a little bit more prominent here by stamping it on a label and filling some of that space. I love to come through with like a little stamp like December, and then I highlighted the current week with a pink Tombow marker. And then this week was just literally like, holy cow, what do I want to do with this? And so I just kind of played around with it, didn't add a lot more details, but I kept it really similar to how I have normally planned in a vertical. You know, I kept it pretty true to the hours of the day. My hours of the day are primarily from 7 to like 10. That's pretty much my waking hours. So I kind of divided it up like that. And then I created like a meal planning section here that's obviously at 10 o'clock at night. That's not when we're actually eating, but it was just a way to fill the space of the day. And then below that, I had seen, I think, Bunny Plans. She had written like what her purchases were. I thought that that was good. And then this is also a way to like keep track of like, yes, I've received it as well. So if the item has been highlighted, that means, yep, I've got it all as well. But other than that, I think like I definitely use color. Like, so bar 3, if you noticed in my exercise tracker, was like this mild magenta color. So I'm using that here on the page. Running is aqua. So again, you know, kind of still using some color coding, but then also just throwing in color like wherever I want. So I have 6 colors of mild liners that I use over and over for different reasons. If I'm working on anything in my Etsy shop, it's going to be yellow, but it's pretty eclectic and it's not like a strict color code. It is, but it isn't. And this dinner plate stamp I get asked about all the time. It was an older Studio Calico stamp that's no longer available. But there is one from Studio L2E, and I will try to link that below because I feel like that will be something that other people might want to know. Primarily the stickers here are from the Coffee Monster Co. Again, I just feel like she fits like with the colors I use. I love her stickers, and I just try to work those in whenever possible. I'm using just like a plain washi here at the top. I don't have any other ideas at the moment for how I'd use the hours before I wake up. And then you'll see a tiny little thing there of green, and that's my hydration tracking. So I'm just putting in, like I'm coloring in 1 square for every 8 ounces I drink. And this week I was just focusing on that first glass right off the morning. I'm just drinking, like as soon as I wake up, 16 ounces of water. And so that was kind of my way of saying, yep, I did it every morning instead of tracking throughout the rest of the day. All right, so then just this next week, I decided to like add the rainbow colors up here using my mild liners to bring a little color there. I absolutely love this washi. It's from the Planner Aesthetic. I'm gonna have to grab a couple more rolls because I could see myself using this a lot throughout the year in this planner. And then this week, my son, like on Sunday the 3rd, he left to go back to college, but he was moving into his own apartment, and it was just so cute. So he kept calling me or texting me with little questions, things that I noticed that he was up to. So I used these label stickers from Studio Calico. They come in a bunch of different colors, and I just chose to use this like darker gray color this week, but I just jotted little notes about him. And this is probably my favorite thing about the Hobonichi right now is I love the memory keeping component. It's not all just about planning ahead. Like this is not about planning ahead per se for me. It's totally about jotting down those little things about life that I can come back and look at later. I look at this and it's kind of a colorful craziness, but I also can decipher it pretty quick. Again, you see kind of the same color being used for my workouts. They are generally at the top of my day because I try to get those up and over with first. I'm enjoying using like washi strips for chunks of time that I'm going to be doing one task. I will probably keep this meal plan in this spot. Number 1, because I just think it makes sense to me to kind of like have it there as a definition for the end of my day. But also there is a tiny bit of shadowing through when you stamp, and I might experiment with some other colors. But let me see, like you can see, I have not stamped on this one yet, but you see a tiny bit of that coming through because of the color I chose. So it just makes sense to continue to stamp on that again. Like I said, I probably will try a different color to see if I can combat some of that. But it was like, okay, well the dinner plate stamp is basically already there on my page, so let's make it like legit. This is the current week, and you can see today's Wednesday as I'm filming this, and it's a little bit sparse. I don't come through necessarily at the end of every day. I would love to build that habit and routine into my day where I come back and like actually memory record, but I just kind of come back as I can every few days and fill things in. So you can see I haven't quite done that here yet, but I will. I'll just use my resources. Like I'll look at my phone and see what texts I've gotten or whatever and kind of fill in the memories. This little kitty sticker is from Sugarloop Studio. She's another favorite of mine on Etsy. She offers a lot of stickers in the colors that I love to see showing up on my pages. This washi is from the Stamp Market. It's a super cute rainbowy washi, which, you know, basically pulls together. When I'm using every color of the rainbow on my page, a washi strip like that kind of helps tie them all together. Also, I think that the black looks really nice too to kind of combat all the colors. To balance them out, but this also just kind of says, yep, they're all there, and here's where they're represented again. So that's how I'm using my weeks so far. You're seeing here I'm actually coming through and doing a little bit more in the tracking for my hydration. Like as I drink throughout the day, I am trying to come back in here and do this. I am actually careful though, because like if I'm coming back in here every few hours, this is like, I could spend the rest of my day just doing this stuff in here. So I kind of have to like not visit it every hour of the day, because I could just, you know, blow an hour just like putting things into this, and I have to be a little bit mindful of the other tasks I need to get done. So I have come through and stamped out this little January stamp. It's Studio Calico older stamp of mine, and I've done that for the rest of the month because I liked the way that it looked on there. And I will probably come through and add a little label with the week number, but this is the kind of task I end up doing later on in the week because I'll pull a color that I feel like I want to see represented there based on whatever else I've been doing that week. That's the weeks, and then after you go through all the weeks of the year, like 52 weeks of the year, then you move into the daily section. So it says here, turning the page to a new year, you get 2 blank grids, and you start off the month with January and move right into the first day. So what I did first is I came through and I stamped out these hexagons in all these different colors. Of course, I have to like color code my goals as well, but I just spent some time thinking through obviously the different sections of your life. Moxie Life does a really amazing job in their planners of like really walking you through the goal setting process, and they break it down into specific areas. This is partly inspired by them, partly inspired by my Inkwell Press mission boards from the past, but I just was very selective, and I'm not very good at setting goals and executing them, so I'm starting off kind of small and just testing the waters here. But I did that for the month of January, and I assigned each of these, you know, colors and areas like home, health, fun, work, personal, and family. And then honestly, there was like a tiny bit of shadowing back through on this, so I went ahead and thought, well, this would be a really good idea to set some overall 2021 goals here on this page. So I just stamped back to back with those hexagons that I'd already done, and then I'm thinking through still like some overall broader goals that I would want to accomplish throughout this year. So that's a work in progress for me, but it's just good for me to have a place to kind of remind me and to see them forefront of my month, like what I really want to work on. So from here, this is like the daily is probably the most overwhelming part of this planner for me. It's overwhelming and yet kind of intriguing to me. So I'm excited to experiment a little bit here to get a little bit more creative, a little bit more artsy. But for right now, I've kind of broken into sections where I do want to track my meals, like what I've been eating, and I probably will even maybe include my weight here. I hate tracking my weight. I hate weighing every morning, but it's on my morning routine. I'm trying to add it in because I feel like it just kind of holds me accountable. So this area in my world is kind of defined as like the meal tracking and maybe some notes about what we did or a meal that we enjoyed. This one is kind of open to like something that I might want to index here. And then I've left this one a little bit more day specific. So if I want to journal or if I want to write down my schedule or include a to-do list, however I feel like I want to use that. Like I said though, I'm not using this planner as much of like for planning as I am for record and memory keeping. So, you know, if I do a to-do list on here, then I'm referencing that to-do list, then I'm like, ooh, I could add some stickers and washi and da-da-da-da. And an hour later, I'm like, oh, Julie. So I'm keeping it, just to be honest, a little bit more reflective in nature. I am including like social media posts up here. I've color coded those and I'm trying to see like, have I done something that day? What have I done? What was the post about? Just for record keeping is all. So you're gonna see, okay, so this one is like a carryover because I have custom orders for my Etsy shop that I anticipate will probably run onto this second page. So I just went ahead and designed it ready for that. And then like this one, I got a little bit more creative on. I am working to establish a morning routine. This is pretty new to me. You know, I'm only 46 years old working on that, but no time like the present. Some of these come naturally and I do them automatically, and some of these might be a good thing to add into here in the future months to just like track myself and make sure that I'm really incorporating them. So again, a work in progress, but just really fun place to test it out and to incorporate some of these things. And then I have like a YouTube video spot. I decided to kind of write down some of the hashtags that I like to include or that I like to search by when I'm on Instagram. Then I have like the Etsy paychecks. I just thought it would be fun for me to keep track of like the paychecks from the quarter. I like to see how the like ebbs and flows work with that. I have done an awful job. So like part of that transitioning, I had some of these pages already created in my previous planner. So like I had them on different pages. So this is like an absolute mess and I'm super bummed because my index is like, oh wait, arrows here, arrows there. So this is a work in progress for me, but I do think I'll be able to find it. It's like within the first 10 days that it's gonna be a mess, and then from there on it should smooth out because I'll have everything transferred. But you're gonna see I have some blank pages here and like even some notes of like, oh, here's what I've done, or things that I wanna either journal about or things I wanna cover. This one I decided to do like an Evereve wish list. My daughter works at Evereve, I used to work there. They have some really cute clothes, and then like I'll watch their stories on Instagram and be like, ooh, I want to try that. So I thought it would be fun to write things down, have my daughter check on them while she's at work, or she'll set them aside for me and I can come in and try them on, and I have a rewards card that I can use when I go in to shop. So that's there for now. I think it's a little heavy for this planner. It's not gonna like, this page is not gonna like holding that. So I probably could have offered some more support with some more washi, but I know that I'm gonna take it off. So no need to get too final there. So honestly, I really want to do some more artwork and some cuter things. I'm like definitely searching all the hashtags on Instagram right now, like Hobonichi, trying to find, you know, there's so much inspiration out there. And I wish that I knew how to hand letter and doodle better. That is not going to be what I'm going to be able to accomplish here. I'm definitely going to be more leaning onto like stamps and stickers to hold my weight and to decorate my pages. And that's fun because I think it's different, and I'm not the only one that doesn't feel confident in their lettering and in their doodling. So I'm hoping that maybe I could inspire some other people too. Like, you don't have to know how to do that in order to use a Hobonichi. We can figure it out, you know, using supplies that we can track down. So in the back here, you'll see there's just some plain grid paper. I'll just walk you through these things really quick. There is like some graph paper, looks like it's been measured out, a favorites list, and my 100. So you could do like a top 100. Not entirely sure how I will use these. I'll kind of be watching to see if I get some ideas from someone else or if something comes to my mind. And then there is some just page that unfortunately I don't understand. So I might even cut those out. I don't know, we'll see. I'm not a big fan of excess paper in my planner. But then in the back here, this cover, you know, you could see you could definitely slide some commonly used stickers back here. I'm thinking of doing that with some of my Avery labeled stickers. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Like I said, it's brand new to me, so I hope that in a few months I could share another video and I'll have my system put together even better. But I wanted to just kind of go ahead and show you where I'm at, just in the process of like, hey, yeah, let's try something new and just be willing to share my way through it. I really appreciate you joining me, and I hope that you got some ideas. If there's something that resonated with you, leave me a comment below. And if you liked the video, of course, I appreciate your thumbs up, your like, and of course, you're welcome to subscribe if you'd like to see some more. All right, take care. Until next time. Hey guys, it's Julie from Plan to Create. 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 This is my Hobonichi Techo Cousin, Techo. I want to say Techo, you guys.